Good evening. Welcome to SAMS Newsbite. I'm Hannah Durnford and making the headlines in this week's news. Staff have lucky break as Sisters Walk wall collapses and damages Customs building. Duke of Edinburgh Playground gets a makeover. St Helena participates in the worldwide photo walk. New small business stretches extreme cuts opens. And highlights of the local sports across the island. No one was injured in the major rockfall which smashed part of the Customs building at the wharf in Jamestown on Saturday. When SAMS's August Graham visited the scene on Monday morning, there were several large rocks still inside the building, and tables had been smashed. By that time, the roof of the building had already been mended.
Right, it's Monday morning and we're here inside the Customs building after the rockfall. Most of the damage has been cleared up, but we can still see the size of these rocks. I've got one right here just next to me, and picking them up, there's quite a weight to it, and you can imagine that smashing through the ceiling here in the Customs building. It must have been terrifying for anyone involved. However, luckily, no one seems to have got hurt.
The rocks came from the wall at Sisters Walk, which is the only part of the cliff face which was not covered by the protective netting. Now the rock guards have put up a barrier to stop any more stones coming out of the same part of the wall. Deputy Harbour Master Steve Kirk told me that he had got the phone call at about 10 to 12 on Saturday.
Right, so Steve, could you tell us what happened on the day?
Well, I had a phone call approximately 10 to 12 on Saturday, obviously just lunchtime. To say, obviously, part of the wall had come down on Sisters Walk. Obviously took it from there. Police was involved, obviously. We then called, obviously, the rockfall guys. So there was quite a delay. Closed the wharf down. Put out a public announcement, I think, on both radio stations. And obviously took it from there. Guys come in yesterday. Thanks, obviously, to Gibby Young and his team for making the roof safe. Obviously, we're just assessing the situation now, really. We'll probably get the rockfall guys down again to assess the wall. Obviously we've got the RMS in on Wednesday, so we may obviously then close this building down until we get further clarification from the rockfall guys. We'll determine whether we use the freight terminal on Wednesday.
Are you setting in place any further security measures?
Probably, because obviously we're going to, until we get further clarification, then we will obviously have this building, the freight terminal, closed until further notice. We obviously will keep an eye out here today. The guys have obviously secured the problem area on the wall, but we just want to make sure then that there's not any further areas on obviously Sisters Walk that could cause us any problems. So thankfully, obviously, no one was injured. It was obviously a quiet day. Nobody was down here, as far as I'm aware. Nobody actually witnessed it. There was just some obviously loud bangs that got reported, and obviously I got the telephone call. So yeah, thankfully no one was hurt.
There is no doubt that this could have ended in tragedy, and those working at the wharf will now be asking why there is not protective netting along the wall. August Graham, SAMS, Jamestown.
On Thursday, the 1st of October, the Waste Management Services and a team from the St Helena prison completed the task of clearing debris from the Duke of Edinburgh Playground, following requests to the Environmental and Natural Resources Directorate. During the clean-up, 40 gravel sacks were used in order to collect the debris, mainly leaves. The leaves will be used by the Environmental Management Division to help the LEMP project when they are added to green waste at Horse Point landfill site for mulching. The Waste Management Services is committed to working towards a cleaner and greener St Helena in partnership with other directorates and stakeholders where possible. And this is not the first time that prisoners have helped in achieving this goal. While the efforts to rejuvenate the playground have made a huge difference to the aesthetics, it is a concern that without an appropriate plan for its development and maintenance, it will not take long for the playground to become in a poor state again. It was brought to our attention last week that there was to be a change in management of the gym at AVAX building in Jamestown. AVAX has now vacated the premises, and full management of the gym is the responsibility of New Horizons. Liam Yon visited the gym to speak to Director of New Horizons, Nick Stevens.
And I'm here with Director of New Horizons, Nick Stevens. Nick, from the 1st of this month, October 2015, the gym has come under full management of New Horizons. So can you just tell me a bit about the change and maybe a bit about the history of the gym here at Avas?
Right, yes, Liam. The gym equipment itself actually belonged to New Horizons. It was set up here in late 1996, and it's been operating here, since then. So just on 9 years. Yeah, the main change that we want to have is to make the gym accessible 24/7. So we've got a coded lock on there. It's not quite working, but people do since the weekend. People now have access to the gym 24 hours a day, so they can come in. As long as they got a membership, they got to sign up now for a monthly membership or a yearly membership, and they can come in and use it whenever they want.
So it will be open 24/7. Not all the time will there be personnel here, but what personnel will you have here and what times will they be here?
Well, we got mostly we got some volunteers that works in the afternoon from around like 4:30 up to 8 o'clock. And we've got a full-time gym instructor, and that's Dion Phillips. He comes in a few times a week, same time. And then ourselves will pop in as and when we can. And the rest of the time, people can come in and use it when they want. We got the cardio equipment, what you can see here. We got a bike, 2 treadmills, a cross trainer, and a rower. And we got loads of weights, Olympic bars here. We got some leg machines. Abdominal machines that you can use for your abdominals. Quite a lot of free weights. And we also got some stuff that we already purchased for the new venue, which hopefully we're going to open in November.
Okay, and just to end up then, can you tell us about how somebody would go about to get a membership for the gym?
Yeah, sure. Membership now only can be obtained at New Horizons. You need to come out, fill out a form. We also take blood pressure and stuff like that, and then you can pay either £5 a month or £50 a year. So at the moment, I think there's 25 people already sign up the new membership. A few people sign up yearly membership, and the rest monthly.
Another gym will open in November at the Halftree Hollow Community Centre. This gym will also fall under the management of New Horizons. On Saturday, the 3rd of October at 2:30 p.m, 32 people took part in this year's worldwide photo walk hosted by the Tourist Office. The event has been held in other countries 6 times before St. Helena took part for the first time in 2014. The idea is the brainchild of well-known professional photographer Scott Kelby, and although it cost nothing to take part, all entries were encouraged to walk with a purpose and raise money for the Springs of Hope orphanage in Kenya. The impending Napoleonic bicentenary celebrations had prompted tourism to host the walk in Longwood. The group of 32, made up of children and adults, met in the gardens of Longwood House before making the trek along Longwood Avenue to Hutt's Gate and then snaked back to Napoleon's house via the forest section of Fisher's Valley Walk. Tourism's Chanel Murray was the walk leader.
Absolutely happy. We had a great attendance today, more than 25 people, so everybody who responded that they'd come were actually out today. And with the weather that we are experiencing, you never know what it's going to be like, especially out here. Everybody came and everybody was happy to take the day as it came.
It's because of the bicentenary. Last year the photo walk was on the other side of the island.
Yes.
This year at Napoleon's house, some of it. What a wonderful background to have the photo walk in.
Yes. Of course, this was the perfect place to start because we had such good photographs on the way out. And to be back here to enjoy the gardens. And we're really thankful that Michelle gave us the chance to enjoy this area just before the bicentenary.
Now, you as well as many other people were taking photos. How about your photos? What were your photos like? Do you think?
I don't think they're going to win any prizes. I didn't take photographs to win prizes. No, it was more about the fun, and I think for a lot of people they weren't so serious about the photography today. It was more about being out together, seeing what you get. So no prizes for me today, I'm afraid.
The walk took around 2 hours, and on return to Longwood House, participants were given the opportunity to take photographs in the famous gardens while enjoying refreshments that were laid on by the tourist office. Merrill Joshua also donned his Napoleon costume and roamed the gardens, creating quite a unique photo opportunity. Photos taken on the walk have to be submitted to the tourist office, and the winners will be announced later in October. The winning photographer's prize will be a 4x4 trip with Aaron's Adventure Tours. Much needed small businesses are continuing to pop up on island at the moment. St. Helena is actively preparing to accommodate a larger community, and young entrepreneurs have picked up on the need for more choice business on the island. Keeping with the trend, SAMS headed to the official opening of Gareth Benjamin's new hairdressing business on Friday the 2nd of October. That provides for the men on the island.
Now situated in Upper Market Street is a new hairdressing business. Gareth Benjamin has taken his haircutting skills to another level and opened his very own business, Stretch's Extreme Cuts. The business was officially opened on Friday the 2nd of October. Gareth hopes to fill a void in the market for men's hairdressing and encourages boys and men to book an appointment. Okay, Gareth, so can you tell me what services you offer here at Stretch's Extreme Cuts?
Well, Stretch's Extreme Cuts offers a hair cutting service for men of all ages. They can enjoy a wash and a cut, and also hair art, which include lines and patterns.
Okay, so why have you decided to actually pursue this career? Why open your own men's hair salon?
Well, I think many places on Ireland for hairdressing or for men, so I decided to open my own business.
Okay, so how long have you actually been working on this business before you actually, got to the point now where you opened?
2 months.
Okay, and the decorating of your premises here, was that all you?
Yes.
Now in full swing, costing £7, Stretch's Extreme Cuts offers a wash and cut, and for the more creative, hair art is also on offer. For that therapeutic experience, men can enjoy an environment designed especially for them. Here now is Damien Obey with the sports news.
Thanks, Hannah. Both golf and football went ahead over the weekend. Longwood Golf Club hosted the monthly medal sponsored by Basil Reid on Sunday, the 4th of October. Larry Nels Thomas, Lawson Henry, and Tony Green all shot nat scores of 68 in the tournament. Larry emerged as the winner, and Lawson was runner-up after a countback. Larry and Tony also scooped a share of the 2-ball pool, along with Larry Legg and Brian Joshua. On to football. On Saturday, Hearts fell just 1 goal short of the season's match goal scoring record as they finished 19-0 victors over bottom-of-the-table Wolves. Man of the match, Jason George, natted 7 times, with Rico Chico Williams, Chris Owen, and Shane Stroud getting hat-tricks. Colin Young got a brace, and Mikey Williams added a single goal. Saturday was a day full of goals, as Rovers rounded off the day with a 12-1 victory over Raiders. Captain Rico Benjamin and young star Ronan Legg got 4 goals each. Ross O'Dean a hat-trick, and Wayne Crowley also added to the goals. Dane Leo was Raiders' only goal scorer. In Sunday's first game, Crystal Rangers proved that their draw against the Wirebirds was not just a one-off good performance, as they put 6 past Fugees, who could only get a consolation through Mark Williams. Tie attacker Somed scored a hat-trick, with the other goals coming from Jordan Johnson, Pilat, and a Cody Thomas penalty. Sunday's second match was a closely contested one. 2013 champions Wirebirds were held to a 1-1 draw in their last match and were looking to get back to winning ways. However, they could only field 10 players for this week's match. The opponents, Bellboys, have been in good form and were confident after a 2-0 win over Axis in their last match. Both teams started brightly, stringing together passes to get themselves into promising attacking positions, but good defending and some wayward shooting ensured that the scoreline remained level. For Bellboys, Ryan and Shane Benjamin combined to great effect with Damian Stevens whose searing pace saw him enjoy some early success on the right wing. In a similar vein, Kanyili and Ace combined for Wirebirds. The game was brought to a halt midway through the first half when Wirebirds keeper Lee Mark Augustus had to leave the field for medical assistance after gashing his chin in a collision. Tapalopo, who was sacked to miss the game through injury, made the decision to hobble onto the pitch and take the gloves from Augustus. Rick Joshua's second half strike from 30 yards shaved the crossbar, but that was the closest Wirebirds came to scoring a second half goal. Bellboys continued their search for a winner. Tyler Brady came close with this looping header, and Scott Crowley had a few shots from distance, but still Bellboys could not score that elusive goal. However, with 15 minutes left to play, Brady netted the winner. The goal gave Bellboys a well-deserved win and ended Wirebirds' title hopes. Having dropped 5 points in their last 2 matches, Wirebirds are now equal on points with Chop Shop Boys, who have played a game more. In the weekend's final game, Chop Shop Boys picked up another 3 points after a convincing 4-0 win over Axis. Kevin Hudson bagged a second half brace, with other goals coming from Ryan Backhouse and Philip Isaac in the first 45. That's it for the sports this week. Back to you, Hannah.
Thank you, Damien. That brings us to the end of this week's edition of SAMS Newsbite. I am Hannah Durnford. Thank you all for watching.